we did a bit of research actually that was looking at Melbourne as an example, and showed that there is enough kind of sort of abandoned industrial land, like brownfield sites they call them, within the city, that you could really sort of, with medium density housing, you could really meet Melbourne's housing needs, for the foreseeable future. So, what we don't do well in this country, you're right, we have high rises, and they're very low quality high rise on the whole. So people have to live in, noisy, very little light. They're very poorly designed, and I don't think they're any of the way that we should be living as, in Australia or anywhere. But then you've got the urban fringe, monstrosities that sort of like go forever and ever and ever, and they're just some of the lowest density, most land consuming kind of types of development that you could ever possibly imagine. And what we don't have is what we call it sustainable mid-rise. The idea, you talked about Barcelona before, Ben, and that European cities have kind of worked it out, that you can have really high density cities fit all the people you need into a city, but also have livable environments where you can still, there's a kind of planning idea that if you can look out the window and yell at your kids and see a tree, then it's you're still connected to streetscape. So that kind of limits your thinking to four to six stories, which is what you see a lot in Berlin and Barcelona and a lot of the European cities. And you might even have a shared kind of central courtyard that you can have biodiverse, rich spaces for kids to play. We actually lived in Leipzig for a little bit when I was on maternity leave, and it was a fabulous way to live. At the end of the day, parents would all come down with their kids and a glass, gin and tonic or something, and it was community oriented, but there was biodiversity with high density, but really well designed. We don't have many examples of that in Australian cities, or New Zealand cities actually, for that matter. But we really do need to be thinking, I think, more along those lines if we want to have livable cities where people can connect with each other, but are also dense enough so that we're not sort of sprawling into some of our most critically endangered habitat.